Do you find it hard to be yourself sometimes? Do you find yourself getting wrapped up in trying to impress other people, trying to look a certain way, trying to act a certain way, trying to fit in? Not sure where you stand in sort of society and in your friends group and in your socialization sort of standpoint in your mind. If you struggle with those, continue this video because I'm going to run through a few reasons why you should be yourself, how you can be yourself. I'm going to break down a few reasons why you aren't being your true self from my perspective and my opinion only. And I'm also going to talk about why people aren't themselves and overcoming the reasons why people adjust their behavior to certain scenarios and around certain people. So to begin with, I have my list here of what I'm going to talk about. It's only short, but I feel like this will really help people if, people get a hold of what I'm saying. So to start with, being yourself is understanding that this is who I am. I am worth more than, not more than anybody, but I am the most prized possession in the artillery of people that I know. And because you're the most prized possession people-wise in your life, you should really take care of yourself, understand yourself, take time out for yourself, not be a narcissistic, nihilistic person, but love yourself and speak highly of yourself and not indulge, but give yourself that affirmation that creates positivity, a positive outlook upon yourself. And that's someone who is themselves, does this regularly and isn't afraid to not necessarily show it, but they project and display it through kindness and happiness, because being content with who you are is happiness, because you aren't molding yourself to become something that you think ideally you should be. So make sure you just take time out to understand yourself. This is where meditation comes in, breath work, writing about yourself, writing in general, learn, teach yourself, educate, connect, make sure you do all these things, and you may one day come across who you really are. But I'm going to get onto that lastly. I'm going to keep this quite short. So my second point is understanding why we care about what people think about us. So even sitting here right now in front of this camera, if people I knew watched it, deep down I would be, not deep down, but sort of on a level I'd be slightly embarrassed. And this is me just being honest and openly vulnerable, because that's what it's about. This is what it's about learning and growing and understanding. So I would feel embarrassed and sort of nervous and sort of, the normal feelings as if all your mates came across your YouTube channel and you'd been posting on it for ages and you'd create a fan base, etc. You'd be slightly embarrassed on the typical level, unless you're like extremely confident in yourself. You don't care about what other people think about you at all, which is very uncommon because it is a common trait anyway. But understanding why we care is a good point, because you sort of have to break down the barriers of knowing and not knowing why you're caring about what this person's thinking. So it's like I was at this event the other day, and then I was on my own because it was sort of like for me personally, it was something that you'd go alone to. It wasn't like a festival where you go to party and stuff. But there was a bit of music at the start, and I just wanted to get up and dance, and I wasn't. I was just clapping my hands and sort of moving to left and right. And I was like, wait, and then the guy at the front was like, come on, let's everybody dance. Stop caring about what other people think. We only have one life, it's very short. You can't live your life based on what other people are thinking of you. And then I thought, yeah, why am I sort of timid to stand up and dance? Like, because I want to deep down, but something is stopping me, and that is an external viewpoint of somebody else judging me, what I'm doing and what I look like and how I'm acting and who I am. So I really thought, is it really worth not doing what I want to do to appease somebody else's possible thoughts about you? Like, is it really? When it's obvious, like you're jumping up on a stage to sing a song in front of 100 people, you know you're going into a scenario where you're going to be judged. You probably have a lot more confidence in that sense at that point. But I really asked myself, I was like, why am I nervous to stand up and dance? Like, it's a normal thing to do. Anybody who is judging me is sort of judging me for not any of the right reasons. So I have nothing stopping me. So guess what I did? I just did it because, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but anybody who has some sort of like social anxiety would understand. I've overcome my social anxiety on a overall basis, but I still have it. It's still in me. It's still part of me. It's just who I am, and it's just who you are if you have it, and we just accept that for who we are. But we work on it, and obviously we improve, and we get the results that we want to get because that's what life is about. Anyway, thirdly, an external viewpoint is subjective anyway. To think you know what someone thinks about you is sort of a waste of a thought, like in general, waste of energy, waste of a thought. So, and when I say it's subjective, the subjectivity of the viewpoint is 100 people in a room could be thinking 100 different things about you. But that one thing, that one necessarily bad thing someone thinks about you can affect all the other viewpoints. Like someone maybe patronizes you for singing in front of loads of people. And then your whole viewpoint on everybody's opinion is skewed because that one person badmouthed what you were doing, meaning you think everybody else might be patronizing. Some people have genuine intentions and want to support you and make your life enjoyable, but other people just aren't attuned to the fact that it took a lot of courage and sort of confidence to stand up on that stage and perform. And I'm using that as sort of like an analogy, but it's a pretty good one. But it's just about having just not caring, because people are going to judge you either way, whether you do it, whether you don't do it, whether you do this, whether you don't do this. You have to understand that people are always going to judge you, but you need to remember who you are. You need to do things out of the goodness of your heart that make you remember who you are as a person. You need to work on yourself. You need to spend time by yourself to really understand who you are, so that when you are being judged, you can then refer back to the times when you've always felt really good about yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm a good person. I helped this person today, not expecting anything back from it, because that's not why we do good things. But just you got to attune your mind to thinking, people are going to judge me anyway. People are always going to judge me. Am I going to waste my sort of effort of thinking on that and dwell and sort of wallow in it? No, I'm going to choose not to. Sometimes maybe you will, and that's okay. You know, don't beat yourself up about it, because you know we're still only human. But we can at least try and understand it and note when it happens, and then overcome it when it happens. Fourthly, your ego. I'm going to discuss more about egoic sort of subjects in the future, but for now, when I talk about the ego and being judged and doing things out of your comfort zone and being yourself, ego is not really yourself, you know? So it's like me not standing up and dancing at that festival thing that I went to was my ego saying, don't stand up, stay sat, so there's no chance of someone judging you for dancing stupidly or weirdly or looking funny. That was my ego. But then I clocked that, because I'm the witnesser of my thoughts and my mind. Any spiritual person can sort of understand what that means, like, or anybody can grasp the concept, but some people could live it and understand it through experience. But being the bearer of the thoughts, being in the thoughts and the emotions, is where anxiety lies. Understanding why you're feeling this way, understanding why you think this way, is the key to liberation of depression and overthinking. So the ego will not let go of wanting to be judged, and not let go of wanting to just not do anything out of the ordinary, so that external points of views and external validation may not be accumulated, but you'll be safe because you're staying sat and you're not doing something that this heart here, not this, because this is a conundrum of thought and processing and But this, you can feel it in your body when you want to do something. You know instinctively that is what I want to do. I want to do that. Oh, I want to be this when I'm older. When you're a child, you're brutally honest about what you want to do. I want to sweep the streets when I'm older. There's no sort of like, there's nothing indignifying about that. But I'm saying kids have a very little amount of egoic tendencies, which prevents them from not stepping out their comfort zone. So if we understand that, we can then bring it back into and implement it into our life to make us more happy and make us more content and ourselves. Number 5, overcoming it. So I'm going to talk about overcoming it now. I've had to overcome it. I've had to overcome caring about what people think a lot. I'm a millennial child. I was born in 2002. So I'm in the social media age, but luckily not from the time I was like 14. It wasn't that serious. But nowadays, 13, 14-year-old girls and boys are really using it at a rampant sort of rate, and it's destroying lives. And yeah, so overcoming it, you need to take notes from what I've said previously, when I've said you need to take the time out to meditate and understand yourself, spend time alone, read books about it, The Power of Now, other books, the Universe in Itself. Just become more spiritual. Like, I'm a spiritual person at heart. This is me. I'm wearing this around my neck, and a necklace with a sun on it, and I've got all this. I think it's really cool. I really like it. It's fairly new. That's why I'm still in admiration of it. But this is who I am. I can't help it, and I'm not ever gonna sort of stunt my growth as this person to appease somebody else's opinion. You can either grow with me or outgrow me, or I'll outgrow you, or you'll outgrow me if you like. But either way, you're not above anyone, or you're not below anyone. Even the people with the wealthiest, the most wealthy families in the world are still like you. They just happen to have all the sort of blessings you could ever ask for in life, when really a blessing is a peace of mind. But overcoming it, you need to relinquish self-animosity. You need to not beat yourself up for being yourself. You need to write down your tendencies and what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. You just need to get to grips with who you are in your head and in your heart. And once you do that, you can sort of after a while, like it takes time, mate. Like 5 months, 6 months, maybe a year, 2 years, a month or two. You have to put the work into to really understand yourself. It's taken me a year and a half to sort of understand myself. And even now, I don't know anything. The more I learn, the more I know that I don't know. So you need to understand that, but you need to know that the work is integral to understanding yourself. Because if you keep just going along how you are now, you're going to stay in a stagnant position because you're not putting in the work. Even spirituality takes work. It takes time to connect and understand, and become part of what it's all about. And number 6 is why to be yourself. This is obvious, and I probably said it already. Why to be yourself is because you have one life. Is what we know. Okay, this is how it's gonna go. You have one life, apparently. I'm open-minded. You have one life. It's long, but then it's short, because time is the now, and you only ever get to experience the now, and the now almost never runs out until the end of your days. But living in the past and the future means life is short, and then it's complicated. But this is everything. All we know is everything that is around us, and what we know and our limited senses. So remember, you have all this like potential and this 1 in 400 trillion chance to be alive, and you're gonna not be the person you were destined to be and who your heart wants you to be. And you don't want to mold into somebody that you want to be because of somebody else, even if that person's your mum. Like, if you want to be gay, or if you want to dress up as a girl, whatever, doesn't matter. If that's what you want to be, you have a limited time on this earth, and you better make the most of it by being yourself and being happy and being content. Otherwise, you're going to end up It's bitter and sour and miserable when you're older, when you realize and you look back over the times that you wasted not being yourself and pretending to satisfy other people's bravado and their opinions about you, when you really should have just been being yourself the whole time, because that's what it's all about. And the limited time that we have on this earth and the limited time that we have to comprehend things as we know it is quite short. So live your life how you want to live it. Doesn't matter what other people think. They're going to judge anyway. The people who want to be around you will stay around you. The people who don't want to be around you, they'll make it clear, and then you'll leave them, because they probably won't, because they enjoy the attention that you give them back for insulting you for whatever reason. 7, how to be yourself. How to be yourself is sort of answered in the last one. Why to be yourself? Why? Because you need to live your life how you want to live it. How to be yourself is you need to understand that. You need to understand the limited time frame that we have on this earth. Comprehend that. Understand how you judge people and how you perceive people who are doing abstract things. Abstract is subjective. But you need to understand why you judge people, and then you'll get a grip on why other people are judging you. And by doing that, you'll sort of liberate the fact that it's just air breezing through. A judgment is air breezing through. That person doesn't really know you. That person might not know you at all, but they are judging you. But to them, it is tumbleweed going through their mind. It's not like a fixation of this person is terrible. This is my stuck opinion on this person. Unless you're a really bad person, if you've done something obviously awful, you deserve to get judged and you will be condemned because you've obviously done something bad. But if you know you're not a bad person and you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be afraid of being judged anyway. You should know who you are, work on yourself, work on understanding what you are worth, and then apply it into your day-to-day life. Take care.